day 6 of the Bible reading challenge. So we have Genesis 6 verse 1 to 22. Verse 1. And it came to pass when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born unto them. Verse 2. The sons of God saw the daughters of men that they were fair, and they took them wives of all which they chose. And the Lord God said, My spirit shall not always strive with man, for that he also is flesh, yet his days shall be as 120 years. There were giants in the earth in those days, and also after that, when the sons of God came in unto the daughters of men, and they bare children to them, and they became mighty men, which were all men of renown. And God saw that wickedness of men was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thought of his heart was only evil continually. And if repented the Lord that he had made the earth in its grieved him his heart. And the Lord said, It will destroy man whom I have created from the face of the earth, both man and beast, and creeping things, and the fowls of the air, for it repented me that I have made them. But Noah found grace in the eyes of the Lord. There are the generations of Noah. Noah was a just man and perfect in his generation, and Noah walked with God. And Noah begat 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. The earth also was corrupt before God, and earth was filled with violence. And God looked upon the earth, and behold, it was corrupt, for all flesh had corrupted his way upon the earth. And God said unto Noah, The end of all flesh is come before me, for the earth is filled with violence through them, and behold, I will destroy them with the earth. Verse 14. Make thee an ark, and copperwort rooms shalt thou make in the ark, and shalt pitch it within and without with pitch. And this is the fashion which thou shalt make of it. The length of the ark shall be 300 cubits, and the breadth of it 50 cubits, and the height of it 30 cubits. And verse 16, a window shalt thou make to the ark, and in a cubit shalt thou finish it above, and the door of the ark shalt thou set in the side thereof, with lower, second, and third stories shalt thou make it. And behold, even if I do bring a flood of waters upon the earth to destroy all flesh, wherein is the breath of life from under heaven, and everything that is in the earth shall die. Verse 18. But with thee will I establish my covenant, and thou shalt come into the ark, and thy sons, and thy wife, and thy sons' wives with thee. And of every living things of all flesh, 2 of every sort shalt thou bring into the ark, to keep them alive with thee. They shall be male and female. Of fowls after their kinds, and of cattle after their kinds, and of every creeping things of the earth after his kind. 2 of every sort shall come unto thee, to keep them alive. Verse 21. And take thou unto thee of all food that is eaten, and thou shalt gather it thee, and it shall be for food for thee and for them. Thus did Noah, according to all that commanded. God commanded him. So he did. Okay. And Genesis 7, this is day 7. And the Lord God said, And the Lord said unto Noah, Come thou, and all thy house into the ark, for they I have seen righteous before me in this generation. Of every clean beast thou shalt take today by sevens, and the male and his female, and of beasts that are not clean by two, the male and his female. Of fowls also the heir of sevens, the male and the female, to keep seed alive upon the face of all the earth. For yet 7 days, and I will cause it to rain upon the earth 40 days and 40 nights, and every living substance that I have made will I destroy from off the face of the earth. And Noah did according unto all that God commanded him. And Noah was 600 years old when the flood of waters was upon the earth. In verse 7, and Noah went in his sons, and his wife, and his sons' wives with him into the ark because of the waters of the flood. Verse 8, of clean beasts and of beasts that are not clean, and of fowls, and of everything that creepeth upon the earth. There went in two and two unto Noah into the ark, and the male and the female, as God commanded Noah. And it came to pass after 7 days that waters of the flood were upon the earth, and the 600 years of Noah's life, and the second month of the 70th day of the month, the same day were all fountains of the great deep broken up, and the windows of heaven were opened. And the rain was upon the earth 40 days and 40 nights, and the same day entered Noah and Shem and Ham and Japheth, and the sons of Noah and Noah's wife, and the 3 wives of his son with them into the ark. They and every beast after his kind, and all the cattle after their kind, and every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth after his kind, and every fowl after his kind, every bird of every sort. And they went in unto Noah into the ark, 2 and 2 of all flesh, wherein in the breath of life is the breath of life. And they that went in male and female of the flesh, as God had commanded him, and the Lord shut him in. And the flood was 40 days upon the earth, and waters increased, and bare up the ark, and it was lifted up above the earth. And the waters prevailed, and were increased greatly upon the earth, and the ark went upon the face of the waters. Verse 19, and the waters prevailed exceedingly upon the earth, and all the high hills that were under the whole heaven were covered. Verse 20, 15 cubits upward did the water prevail, and the mountains were covered. And all flesh died that move upon the earth, both of fowl and of cattle and of beasts, and every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth, and every man. Verse 22, and all those nostrils was breath of life, and that was in the dry land died. And every living substance was destroyed which was upon the face of the ground, both man and cattle, and the creeping things, and the fall of the heavens, and they were destroyed from the earth. And Noah only remained alive, and that there with him in the ark. And the water prevailed upon the earth 150 days.
From now on, I'm going to say yes. Yes to love.
Okay, day 8 of the Bible challenge, Genesis 8. Genesis chapter Chapter 8, verse 1. And God remembered Noah and every living thing in all the cattle that was with him in the ark. And God made a wind to pass over the earth, and the waters as swag. The fountains also of the deep and the windows of heaven were stopped, and the rain from heaven was restrained. And the waters returned from off the earth continually, and after the earth of the 150 days, the waters were abated. And the ark rested in the 7th month of the 17th day of the month upon the mountains of Ararat. And the waters decreased continually until the 10th month of the 10th. In the 10th month, on the first day of the month, were the tops of the mountains seen. And it came to pass at the end of the 40 days that Noah opened the window of the ark which he had made. And he sent forth a raven, which went forth to and fro, until the waters were dried up from off the earth. Also he sent forth a dove from him, to see if the waters were abated from off the face of the ground. But the dove found no rest for the sole of her foot, and she returned unto him into the ark, for the water were on the face of the whole earth. Then he put forth his hand and took her, and pulled her in unto him into the ark. Verse 10. And he stayed yet other 7 days, and again he sent forth the dove out of the dark. And the dove came in to him in the evening, and lo, in her mouth was an olive leaf plucked off. So no one knew that the waters were abated from off the earth. And he stayed yet another 7 days, and sent forth the dove, which returned not again unto him any more. And it came to pass in the 601st year, in the 1st month, and the first day of the month, the waters were dried up from off the earth. And Noah removed the covering of the ark, and looked, and behold, the face of the ground was dry. And in the 2nd month, on the 27th day of the month, was the earth dried. And God spake unto Noah, saying, Go forth of the ark, and thou, thy wife, and thy sons, and thy sons' wives with thee. Bring forth with thee every living thing that is with thee, of all flesh, both of fowls and of cattle, and of every creeping things that creepeth upon the earth, and they may breed abundantly in the earth, and be fruitful, and multiply upon the earth. And Noah went forth, and his sons, and his wife, and his sons' wives with him. Every beast, every creeping things, and every fowl, and whatsoever creepeth upon the earth, after their kinds, went forth out of the ark. And Noah builded an altar unto the Lord, and took of every clean beast, and of every clean fowl, and offered burnt offerings on the altar. And the Lord smelled a sweet savour, and the Lord said in his heart, I will not again curse the ground any more for man's sake, for the imagination of man's heart is evil from his youth. Neither will I again smite any more everything living, as I have done. While the earth remaineth, said times and harvests, in cold and heat, and summer and winter, and day and night shall not cease. The end of chapter 8. Okay.